Welcome back to Crime Cuisine, where we prove that the simplest comfort foods often hide the most complex secrets. Tonight, we serve up Varenyky, the delicate, doughy crescent moons filled with tradition and warmth. In Ukraine, these are the taste of home. But for one family in Odesa in the 1990s, they became the ultimate currency of crime. This is the story of the Golden Tier, a case of kidnapping, a staggering ransom, and a desperate race against time, all revolving around a single, priceless object concealed within the most humble of meals. Before we lift the lid on this mystery, I have a simple question for you. Do you love the perfect combination of heart-stopping crime stories and mouth-watering food sounds? If your answer is yes, then go ahead and subscribe to Crime Cuisine and turn on notifications because the best secrets are yet to be revealed. This story takes place during the turbulent 1990s, a time when the collapse of the old order led to the rise of new, ruthless criminal syndicates. Our story's protagonist is Maria Klimenko, a renowned elderly cook from Odesa, known throughout the region not just for her food, but for her golden tier, a legendary, perfectly cut diamond passed down through her aristocratic family. The diamond was worth millions. The risk of keeping it was lethal. Maria Klimenko was more than a cook. She was a cultural guardian. She made her Varenyky by hand, following a technique so old it was almost forgotten, a dough so thin it was called the widow's veil. She was an easy target for the Odesa syndicates, who knew she guarded a fortune in her small, crumbling apartment. One cold November morning, Maria vanished. There were no forced entries, no signs of struggle, just a half-kneaded bowl of dough on her kitchen table, covered by a linen cloth, a chilling sign that she was taken mid-preparation. The kidnappers contacted Maria's estranged grandson, Pavlo, a struggling engineer living in Kyiv. The demand was simple and brutal. They wanted the golden tier diamond in exchange for Maria's life. But there was a catch, a sick joke played by the syndicate leader, known only as the Tsar. The ransom drop was not to be a briefcase of cash or a leather pouch. It had to be delivered inside a Varenyk, one single, perfectly formed dumpling, which the Tsar would inspect himself before releasing Maria. The Tsar was known for his love of Maria's cooking. He wanted the diamond, but he also wanted to see if Pavlo, who couldn't even boil water, could replicate his grandmother's culinary art. The Varenyk had to be flawless. Otherwise, the deal was off. Pavlo was desperate. He didn't know where his grandmother kept the diamond. He was an engineer, not a cook. He flew to Odesa, risking his life to search Maria's small apartment. He searched the floorboards, the vents, the ancient china cabinet. Nothing. He sat at the kitchen table, defeated, staring at the half-kneaded dough his grandmother had left. He picked up the linen cloth that covered it. Under the dough, tucked into a small dry corner of the wooden bowl, was a microscopic engraving, barely visible. The answer is in the potato. The diamond wasn't hidden in the house. Maria, expecting trouble, had already hidden the golden tier in the only place she knew no one would look, in the large sack of potatoes she used daily for her signature dish. Pavlo spent the next 2 days meticulously examining every single potato in the sack. He finally found it, a large, unassuming potato that had been skillfully hollowed out and then sealed with wax, perfectly camouflaging the priceless, glittering diamond nestled within. Maria, the master cook, had used her craft to protect her treasure. Now came the impossible task, making the perfect Varenyk. Pavlo couldn't use the original potato. It was too large and oddly shaped to blend into the filling. He had to transfer the diamond into a new, single dumpling that would pass the Tsar's inspection. He sought out Maria's only rival, an old chef named Dmitro, who disliked Maria but respected her craft. Dmitro reluctantly agreed to help, but only for a massive fee. The process was agonizing. Dmitro insisted on perfection. The dough had to be made from a specific, finely milled flour, kneaded exactly 73 times, and rolled out to a thickness barely that of a coin. The filling had to be mashed potato, mixed with fried onion and butter, but with no lumps, absolutely none. The diamond, once safely transferred into the filling, was then sealed within the single, designated Ransom Varenyk. The seal had to be invisible, the crimping pattern flawless. If the Tsar found any imperfection, he would know the dumpling was tampered with, and Maria's life would be forfeit. Pavlo worked through the night. His engineering precision finally found a use in the kitchen. He crimped the final edges, ensuring the dough was sealed, leaving the faintest, almost imperceptible line, the only indicator that this dumpling was unique. The exchange took place in an abandoned Odesa shipyard. Pavlo brought the single perfect Varenyk in a small traditional clay bowl. The Tsar was massive, with cold eyes. Maria, pale and weak, sat tied to a metal chair. The Tsar ignored Pavlo. His eyes were fixed on the dumpling. He picked it up with surprising gentleness, turning it over to inspect the crimped edges. He brought it to his nose, inhaling the aroma of butter and potato. The tension was suffocating. Then he took the bite. The sound was deliberate and slow. He chewed, his expression unreadable. He was judging not the quality of the diamond, but the quality of the Varenyk. Pavlo saw the Tsar's eyes darting, searching for the imperfection, the line where the dumpling was sealed around the treasure. The Tsar swallowed. He paused for a long, terrible moment. Then a slow, predatory smile spread across his face. "Flawless," he whispered, a twisted compliment to Maria's legacy. He nodded to his men, who quickly confirmed the presence of the diamond within the filling. Maria was released. The golden tear was lost, stolen inside a Varenyk, but Maria was safe, proving that sometimes the only way to beat a master criminal is to become an even better cook. Maria Klimenko eventually retired, but her legend did not. She taught Pavlo to cook, making sure her great culinary secrets were passed down. She often told him, "A good Varenyk is not about the ingredients, but about the secrets you hide inside." The golden tear was never recovered, a silent, glittering casualty of the crime. But to this day, in Odesa, if you hear a chef talking about a Ransom Varenyk, you know they're talking about the time a simple potato dumpling held the key to a woman's freedom. Thank you for joining us on Crime Cuisine. The truth is in the taste. Don't miss the next secret recipe file. Subscribe now, and let's uncover more culinary crimes together.